Most AI agents can search the web, but the second that you ask them to click a button, fill out a form, or use a real website, they fall apart. In this video, I'm connecting Hermes to Playwright MCP, so it can control a real browser inside of WSL on Windows. By the end, Hermes Agent will add tasks to a web app, work through a messy movie site, and check a live Amazon listing like a real user would. So let's set it up. First, open Windows PowerShell and type WSL. That drops you into your Linux environment. Once you're in, create a folder for the project by running make directory playwright MCP, then move into it with the cd command. Now, create a new node project by running npm init, then install Playwright MCP and Playwright with npm. This installs the MCP server Hermes Agent will use, along with the browser automation tools running behind it. If it asks for your sudo password, enter it so Linux can install the extra dependencies. Once that finishes, Playwright has a headless Chromium browser ready to use. Before we connect it to Hermes, run the following command to ensure that Chrome is installed correctly. That should return the path to the browser executable. Now, we need to connect it to Hermes. So open your Hermes config file by running nano hermes config.yaml. Scroll to the bottom and add a new MCP server called Playwright. Set the command to npx, then add these arguments, @playwright, MCP latest, headless, and browser equals Chrome. Save the file with Ctrl and O, then press enter, and then now finally exit by pressing Ctrl and X. At this point, Hermes can launch Playwright whenever it needs to interact with a browser. And this is the big difference. So let's test it. Start the agent by typing Hermes chat. For the first test, tell Hermes, use Playwright MCP to open example.com and tell me the page title. Hermes sends the instruction to Playwright MCP, Playwright controls the browser opens the website, and Hermes reads the result back to you. Now let's give it a task that web search cannot complete for us. For this test, tell Hermes to go to Playwright to do MVC demo site and add these 3 tasks: record video, edit thumbnail, and upload tutorial. This time, Hermes has to do more than read a page. It needs to understand the layout, find the correct input field, enter the tasks, submit them, and confirm that the action has worked. First, it navigates to the site. Then it takes a browser snapshot and scans the page structure. Instead of guessing where the input box is, it identifies the exact reference for the task text box. Then it types record video, edit thumbnail, and upload tutorial, submitting each task as it goes. Finally, it checks that all 3 items appear in the list and confirms the result directly in chat. That is the point where the difference becomes obvious. Search can tell Hermes what to do MVC is. Playwright MCP lets Hermes add the task itself. Hermes is no longer just reading websites, it's observing the page, interacting with the interface, and verifying that it has completed the task correctly. Now let's move to a real-world website with pop-ups, changing layouts, and incomplete data. Tell Hermes, go to Rotten Tomatoes, find the top movies opening this week, open the top 3 movies, extract their audience and tomato meter scores, and give me a quick summary. This is where browser agents either prove themselves or fall apart. The site loads and there may be a privacy dialog blocking the page. A basic scraper might fail immediately, but Hermes can recognize that the page is obstructed, locate the dismiss button, click it, and then continue. Next, it scans the page to identify the top movie titles, then opens each movie one by one and looks for the tomato meter score, the audience score, and any missing or unavailable data. The important part is that if a score is missing, Hermes should not make that one up. It checks the page structure, confirms what's available, and reports the missing information clearly. The result is not just a copied list of numbers. It is a summary based on what Hermes can actually see on the live page. Now for the hardest part, test Amazon. Amazon is difficult because the layout is dynamic, product listings change constantly, and purchase options can vary by seller, region, or stock status. For this test, we're not trying to bypass captures, defeat anti-bot systems, or access protected info. We are simply asking Hermes to inspect what a normal browser session can see. So give Hermes this prompt. Search Amazon for a PlayStation 5 Pro console. Find the most relevant listing, extract the displayed price, and tell me whether the product is available to buy directly from Amazon or only through third-party sellers. Hermes starts by locating the search box and submitting the search. It then identifies the relevant product listings, checks the title, examines the display price, and opens the product page. But the price alone is not enough. A product can have a listed price while still being unavailable for direct purchases. So Hermes checks the buying area. Is there an add to cart button? Is there a buy now button? Does the page say the item is unavailable? Are the only purchase options come from third-party sellers? If Hermes finds an odd price, a missing button, or unclear buy box, it does not stop at the first tool error. It checks the surrounding layout and visible page text to understand what the page is actually telling it. Then it can give a practical result, such as the PlayStation 5 Pro listing is currently not available for direct purchase from Amazon. The visible purchase options are from third-party sellers. And that is the real power of combining Hermes with Playwright MCP. The agent is not just executing a fixed browser script. It is observing what is on the page, adapting when the page changes, checking its own work, and reporting what it's found. In this video, we connected Hermes to Playwright MCP inside of WSL on a Windows machine, then tested 4 increasingly difficult browser workflows. First, Hermes read a page title, then it completed a task in a live web app, then it handled a privacy pop-up, inconsistent layouts, and missing data on Rotten Tomatoes. Finally, it inspected a dynamic Amazon listing and reasoned about actual purchase availability. The big takeaway is simple. Hermes web search helps it find and understand information. Playwright MCP gives it an action layer. Together, they let Hermes research the web, navigate live pages, interact with browser-based tools, and verify outcomes in real time. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe for more AI-related tutorials. And if you want to learn how to host Hermes on your own VPS, check out my next video where I'll show you how to host your Hermes agent on a VPS using Hostinger so it can keep running 24/7 outside your local machine. I'll see you in the next one.